It's part one of the Sunshine Double and the return of Carlos Alcaraz in his favourite tournament. He's very difficult to beat here. Jannik Sinner is chasing world number one status. He didn't play this time last year. Djokovic is in the mix as well. And this is our fourth.
That's right. We have a whole draw to go through, and we are going through the men's on this video. Like JG said in the intro, Carlos Alcaraz, not only does he love it at Indian Wells, but he seems to love it in 2026. Undefeated so far this year. Can he go another tournament undefeated, winning Indian Wells and perhaps the full Sunshine Double as well? He'll be looking to continue the run. Jannik Sinner will be looking to stop the run. And Novak Djokovic, he is playing. That is right. And we will find out which side of the draw he is on. Probably prefers Sinner's side these days as he's got one over on him this year. But Zverev's in there as well. They are the big four for this tournament. And we'll be going through each of their quarters. But where do you want to start off, JG? Do you want to start off with maybe some of the stuff that's going on around the world preventing some players getting to the tournament?
Yeah, that's a good place to start. I want to go somewhere just before we get to that even, because the news is just too negative as it is. I want to speak about the timing of this event and how we're arriving here at Indian Wells with Jannik Sinner having a little bit of a wobble. It is not a big wobble. He's lost. We're talking about a handful of matches, maybe matches we'd expect him to win. But I mean, a loss against Djokovic at the Australian Open isn't the end of the world. And on the other side, Alcaraz is arriving at his, well, statistically, probably one of the best Masters events. I think I'm looking here. You've got one of the ones which is better, maybe, is the Madrid Open, which is still really good. 15 wins, 2 losses. But in terms of how many matches he's played, Indian Wells is by far the best. 87%. He's only lost 3 times and won 20 matches, winning the event twice. In the last 4 years, he's reached the semi-final or gone on to win the whole thing. So you've got these two things coming together. Alcaraz not lost a match, playing at one of his best Masters events. Sinner having a little bit of a wobble. The bookies have it evens, with them both being the joint favourite to take the title. But I'm really excited. I think it is going to be very interesting to see what Jannik Sinner is made of. I think a win against an Alcaraz here would be a big statement win.
Yeah, I think that he needs a big tournament as well, just to show everybody that he's not disappearing anytime soon. And there's going to be sort of two sides, obviously, to the draw. It's always each of those players on either side of the draw. Carlos Alcaraz always brings something new, though, doesn't he, to all of these events? And in this one, he's bringing a new hairstyle. Of course he is. And he is now rocking the mullet. This is the mullet era of Carlos Alcaraz. He's had the skinhead version. Now we have the mullet. You see there, look at this. Oh, beautiful. What do you make of the Alcaraz mullet?
I think it's in. A lot of people going for the mullet these days. And yeah, I feel like everything he does is very fitting. I've never been against any Carlos Alcaraz haircut. And let's see how he gets on with a mullet. I mean, he could be bald, he could have an afro. It seems right now whatever he touches turns to gold, and he wins tennis matches and wins tournaments. So fascinated to see that they're both joint even, joint favourites to win this whole event. I'm surprised because I think Alcaraz does edge it, and it's going to be a big test of Jannik Sinner's resolve to get back to the top table and get back to a position and say, you know what, I'm coming for your world number one status, because Sinner is not defending points right now. He didn't play this time last year. He's not defending points. He has a really good run at trying to catch Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, most definitely, because Jannik Sinner, we didn't see him this time last year. I can't wait to see how he performs on these courts. And some big news, somebody that you like on the Tennis X or Tennis Twitter, Tennis Better Nishi, has made some statements about the courts out there and the court speed, which he said, yesterday I emailed about the overall speed conditions in Indian Wells, the court and the balls. So far, the data doesn't show that there's slowness at all. In qualifying matches, 73.8% of first serve points won. That's 2,105 points. Strong sample and high for the qualies. I'll update again tomorrow. So if that is a big factor and it plays faster, is this better for Yannick Sinner? I think it possibly could be. So there's a lot of variables in this tournament, and I just can't wait to see them get started. I know that obviously we didn't see Sinner here last year. Are we going to get to see the Russians here this year? I know that they've been playing over in Dubai and now struggling to get a flight over. So, it's just terrible timing with the way, obviously you can't plan these things, but there are tennis players in different regions that are having problems for different reasons as well. Like you had Mexico, there was some stuff going on over there as well. Now there's stuff going on in the Middle East, and people struggling to get to one of the biggest, well, what is known as the 5th Grand Slam of the year, a lot of people call it. It is Indian Wells, the biggest Masters event. I'm a bit shocked of all of the news that's been happening, but I just hope that everybody manages to get there safely and that we do have an elite list of players and we get a full list as well. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Well, I do believe Medvedev and Rublev, who you're referring to, will be able to get over there. I've not seen any update recently to suggest that they've had some positive news. The last thing I saw 12 hours ago was from Jose Morgado saying they're still trying to leave Dubai and they're going to miss the mixed doubles at Indian Wells. So they've already missed an event, but I don't think it's going to be enough to miss the singles. I've seen some flights taking off from Dubai today to London, to Germany, to some other places. So I think, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, that the world can return to some normality. But every time you turn on the news, there's something else. Trump's saying something else, and who knows? I'm not going to get into that here today, but I do find it fascinating, like you've said, that if the conditions are playing faster, that is going to make it a bit more level. Because the same conditions as every other year, Alcaraz walks this event, and I don't think Yannick Sinner can even stop him.
Well, let's wait and see. Obviously, we've had some Italians doing well over the past week. Got to give them a shout out, especially as one is my guy. He's back. It's Flavio Cobolli. He wins in Acapulco, which I'm so happy about. And we had Luciano Dardelli winning in Santiago as well. Daniel Medvedev picked up a trophy in Dubai, but didn't have to play the final. Talon Grigspor, after a fantastic tournament, ended up just retiring and not playing the final. So he won it by default, which is crazy. You don't get to see that very often, that the final doesn't get played. But Daniel Medvedev is the champion and the first ever tournament he has won twice. It should be noted. So coming into this tournament, there are a lot of elements. The Italians doing well, Medvedev winning a tournament twice, Alcaraz on an unbeaten run, Djokovic has just beaten Sinner. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm pretty excited to see how this Indian Wells draw pans out.
Yeah, Medvedev did very well beating Felix. I think that's what impressed me the most, because on paper, that was the real tough one. Cobolli now getting past that injury. You've had him inside your top 10. Let's see what level he's at. I was slightly disappointed in Mensik, but maybe that's just going to be the ups and downs of what we're going to see from a young player. Jack Draper, is he going to return to some kind of tempo and pace? We've seen him playing some tennis and at a relatively high level in spells, but not got that consistency going. Yeah, like you say, he's the reigning champion here. Daniel Medvedev also liking these conditions. So, yeah, there is a lot at play. I mean, in a usual year without Yannick Sinner and Alcaraz, like where they've been, you could probably make a case that Daniel Medvedev could do some special things. I just feel like them top two are still far above everyone else. And despite Daniel Medvedev doing quite well at the moment, Cobolli coming back to what we was expecting, Jack Draper returning to the tour, it still does feel like a two-horse race. Not many other players next in line. I think Djokovic's days in these Masters events are numbered. I think it's going to be really difficult for him to win them, especially with his real motivation not in winning Masters anymore. His focus is Grand Slams, and he's going to be putting everything with his whole schedule, his body, trying to peak at these Grand Slams. So this is a real good preparation. This is all he's using this event for. Of course, he's going to try and win it, but I don't think he can. And I am probably more fascinated with a Djokovic versus a Draper, a Djokovic versus a Daniel Medvedev or a Kaboli right now, as opposed to the top two playing Djokovic. Djokovic has just beaten a Jannik Sinner, but I'm not so fascinated about watching that matchup in a Masters event as I would be in a Grand Slam. In these Masters events, I want to see him against the next best. How are they going to be able to bridge the gap and make a claim to say, I am the one chasing the top two? Whereas right now, Djokovic probably is that third player still. I know I play a lot of devil's advocate on here and I wind people up saying he's not there yet, and whatever. But statistically, he has been there or thereabouts as the third, fourth best player in the world. And I'm just fascinated to see these guys, can they now make a claim to be in that position?
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you in questioning Djokovic's motivation in Masters. I'll give the game away as well. I don't think I see him winning Indian Wells. I don't even feel like he'll even need to go that deep in it. He'll be there. He'll be showing his face. Everybody loves to see him on the court. If he gets to a quarters or something like that, even he's still good enough to get to the semis.
He's
really,
getting a lot of love now as well
yeah,
around all these courts and countries. People want to see him win. He's getting support during matches, whereas for a large part of his career, he didn't have that, especially with Roger and Rafa there. It seems like people always like the underdog.
yeah. And the one thing that we have to remember is some people, not everyone, some people might be getting sick of the two-horse race and they might be wanting to see somebody who can just potentially get under the skin of Alcaraz or Sinner, and Djokovic seems to be the only person who can do it. So if he stays in the tournament, there's always an element of excitement that, we get another big match. You get a big semi-final and a big final, not just one big match per tournament. So let's have a look at the draw anyway. Alcaraz, the number one seed, and this is who he has in his quarter. So we'll go through the seeds first, and we can see the first one there is Bublik. We've also got Darderi, Rinderknecht, Vachereau, Norrie, Rude, and there's the big name, Alex de Minaur, in the section of Carlos Alcaraz.
I think this is a really tough quarter. The players here on display are top level. I mean, Darderi is playing out of his skin right now. Never played so well. Vachereau being one of the best hard court players this last year. De Minaur, I think he's outstanding and trying to be that guy who is another one to put in that conversation of, I want to see an Alex de Minaur versus a Djokovic. That's a fascinating match right now. And that's, I think, a big landmark and challenge for a de Minaur to be able to beat a Novak Djokovic on a more regular basis.
Yeah, not the best draw if you're de Minaur, though, because we've got Seb Korda, who could be a potential second round matchup, and he has just come off the back of winning, wasn't it, in Dallas? So a title to his name in recent days. Looking through this, and a potential second round match for Alcaraz of Grigor Dimitrov. So it's never an easy match, but I think he's been a bit up and down of late. He has one good tournament at least a year. Is this going to be the one where he comes good? We've seen him play some fantastic tennis in the Sunshine Double in the past. I wouldn't put it past him. And somebody who has taken 2 sets off Sinner at a slam not too long ago.
Yeah, Cam Norrie is another one who likes these courts. We're not speaking about him, but he does like it here. He got to a final, didn't he?
The winner.
Oh, no, he won it, right? Yeah, he beat Basashvili in that strange final after COVID. But I always said after that I think I always put him quite high in my draws. Let's see what I do this time around. But a difficult player. And all in all, I think this is a tough quarter. I've not had a real good look at all of the quarters yet. And I want to know where Djokovic is on the draw. So maybe you can let me know that next.
Well, on Alcaraz's side, is it Zverev? Is it Djokovic? It's Djokovic on the Alcaraz half. He'll probably be annoyed. Probably would have fancied another matchup against Yannick Sinner. I think that was essentially like a tournament win for him, just to get a win over somebody who's beaten him so many times in a row. That probably meant more to him than winning the Australian Open at the time. Felt like a Grand Slam win to beat one of the most informed players on tour. And now we look who he's got in his section. Daniel Medvedev, Mutet. We've got Lehechka, Humbert, Cerundolo, Jack Draper, there he is, and Taylor Fritz, always in Djokovic's section, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be hoping he gets Taylor Fritz, that's for sure. And then we may get that semi-final with Alcaraz. But all in all, I would say it's a tough section, not as tough as Alcaraz is. You got some really dangerous unseeded players in your Hurkacz, your Marazans, your Tabio. I think they all have ability to really take on a big player. Jacob Fernley, fascinated to see what level he's at. I've not seen much of him at all, but we know there's a player in there. And seed-wise, Lehechka. Who else is there seeded? Cerundolo. Yeah, it's okay. Lehechka's been a bit hot and cold. Taylor Fritz, he's not been as good as I was expecting. I mean, this year, has he been the top American? I don't think so. I think there's been other American players who've outperformed him.
I would agree. And you might get what you wished for earlier. You were saying, I can't wait to see maybe a Draper versus a Djokovic. Well, careful what you wish for. We might get Draper versus Djokovic in this one. That would be a great matchup. Something I can't even remember if they've even played before. If they have, I know they did. They played at Wimbledon, didn't they? But that was quite a few years ago. I think he took a set from Djokovic and then lost in 4, if I'm right in thinking. Is that right?
Yeah, that was a different Jack Draper completely. That's 2021.
Exactly.
We're talking about.
Many
and that's
years
where
ago.
After that first set, he lost 6-1, 6-2, 6-2. But this is, complete different Jack Draper. I want to see them two play each other. I alluded it to at the beginning. That is a real popcorn match. Let's see where Jack Draper's level's at. He's going to have to beat some big players to get there. Fitness-wise, he struggles with the heat as well. So, being a British player, never easy playing in America. So hopefully if the stars align, we get the matchup.
I think Daniel Medvedev would be really happy with his quarter, to be honest. He'd be happy that he's not on the half of that quarter with Djokovic. And I think if he manages to get through his matches, there's a couple of maybe okay first, second round.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. And also he avoids a Yannick Sinner. I think he'd rather play Alcaraz than Sinner.
Yeah, and he's in good form. Tournament win picked up. And yeah, let's look at now Sinner's section. He's obviously the back end of the draw. Then we'll look at Zverev's last. Sinner, the number 2 seed. He has Menchik. He has Fokina. He has Echeverry, Tommy Paul, Lerner Tien, Kalan Khachanov, and Ben Shelton in this section.
Yeah, some interesting ones. And these are some of the Americans who I feel like have been doing better than Fritz. Shelton, Tien, they're on the ascendancy. 2 young players. Fritz is that guy, but I think Tien certainly has claims to beating him. Shelton beat him recently, right? And Khachanov's been in okay form, but these are the 2 Americans I really get behind. I think they're the future of the American sport and can do some damage. Can they beat a Yannick Sinner? I'm not so sure. I don't think we've ever seen Tien Sinner, right? But Shelton Sinner is always one way.
In a final, we saw Tien versus
That's
Sinner.
right. Yeah, it was recently, and it was a complete just
couple of tie breaks. A couple of tie breaks. No, first set tie break, second set comfortable. I think. Can't remember.
Let me just confirm because I thought he blitzed him. Maybe he did in the second set. Then
second set, I think it was a blitz, but I think he was just one set of trying to stay.
No, it was a complete blitzing. Yannick Sinner 6-2, 6-2.
Oh, okay. I don't know
in China. No tie break there. I did think it was one way because I remember them getting to the final. It wasn't too long ago. It was back end of last year in China. And and Sinner just demolished him. But Sinner at that period was very good. His confidence is a bit lower now. TN's confidence is at an all-time high. I think we would get a closer matchup. And I'm interested to see that matchup right now. I think that's a really good one. Ben Shelton, Yannick Sinner, not so much. I just feel like Sinner has his number, and I don't see it changing in any of these recent matches that's coming up.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think that TN has a style which is more conducive with somebody who could actually just hang in rallies longer with someone like Yannick Sinner. But look how many Americans we've got in this part of the draw as well. We've got Shelton, we've got Opelka and Quinn both playing each other. We've got Tommy Paul, we've got Lerner TN, all in that top little section there. And Zachary Svaja there as well. Marcus Guillon. This section's just rampant, full of Americans. So if they'd be hard pushed, if they don't get an American come out of this quarter or even face Sinner potentially at the end of this quarter, it's going to be a bit of a disappointment. Got Fonseca in there as well. I just spotted him.
Yeah, he's letting me down big time. Colin John's beating him, and I'm going to have to come on here and be upset again because Fonseca's not going to be making the top 10, I don't think, based off how he's currently playing. Tsitsipas Shapovalov is a funny match. Rolling back the years, them two. I mean, Tsitsipas to win it, who knows? Let's see who's backhand's firing.
Yeah, I like the fact that we got two single-handers going against each other. But, yeah, two inconsistent players. No idea who's going to win that one. But whoever wins out of any of these, I think Sinner's going to clean them up in whatever match they play each other. Let's go to Zverev's section last. And here it is. And he has in his quarter Felix Auger-Aliassime, Andrei Rublev. We got Nakashima, Tiafoe, Arthur Fils, Lorenzo Musetti, and last but not least, there is Flavio Cobolli. And he's in the same quarter as Lorenzo Musetti, which could be big for me. I need Cobolli going as far as possible. And if he can knock Musetti out in a quarter-final matchup, I'm all for it.
Yeah, because that's me and you head to head. I've got Musetti in my top 10. You've got Cobolli. Not having Musetti, I think, is a crime, by the way. I know I keep saying it, but that is so wrong of you to not include him. All in all the years we've been doing these podcasts, this is probably one of the most even draws I've seen.
It's pretty good.
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But I think this is a very even draw. I like the way it's been done. Obviously, it's just chance, but I think the rankings have helped the way they are right now. And I'm not mad at this draw at all. I think you can make cases for many players troubling the elite top two. Are we still going to get them top two in the final? I think it's still on their rackets because there's no one who's got to that level. But who's going to be the people below them who is going to announce themselves as the semi-finalists, the quarter-finalists? I think you could have many different options and many different variables in them quarterfinals or semi-finals, aside from them other two. And Djokovic is going to have his work cut out to force the situation to remain there. Looking at this section, I mean, Cobolli playing well right now. I'm predicting him not to have such a good tournament here after winning a tournament. I think we could see the curse of winning one. Rublev, another one I think who may struggle. Could be a bit rattled with everything going on in Dubai, still stranded out there. And if you go down a little bit, we'll see how Zverev is going to get on. So Zverev's got a Berrettini matchup potentially to start things off.
Terrible.
Never easy. You got Felix, who I am predicting to do maybe quite well. This could be a good event for Felix, as much as it won't help my top 10 predictions. And let's see where Zverev's at. I think he also will fancy himself. There's a lot of players here who fancy themselves to advance on this quarter, especially with Zverev not winning that last event. What was it, in Acapulco, when he was the number one seed? He looked destined to win it. And who did he end up losing to?
Kecmanovic, I believe.
Yeah, shocking.
Somebody who haven't really spoken about for a long time, but he was right up there when Alcaraz was just coming on the scene. I remember them playing some epic matches, but his ascent wasn't quite the same as Alcaraz. He had a bit of a bumpy ride, and hopefully we get to see him back to a high level again, because he was really entertaining especially with some really good long rallies with Alcaraz. I remember those like well when we were doing watch-alongs. But looking at this one, yeah, it's a sort of a free for all in two sections. If, like you were saying, whoever can win those other two quarters, they could get interesting because they're up for grabs. I don't think Zverev has
Yeah.
any claims or all the claims to this section at all. I think
No.
someone like Inform Kaboli will be looking at this going, I like
Fees.
it. Rublev and at fees, yeah. I think
Fees in form. He got to a final but got killed, didn't he, by Alcaraz?
yeah, I think it was maybe too much too soon for him. But the fact he got to the final, beat Menchik, I thought was incredible. I'm interested to see what level Musetti's at. Obviously, last time we saw him, wasn't it? He withdrew from Acapulco due to injury. He was injured, was it, when he led Djokovic at the
Yeah,
Australian
that's the
Open?
problem.
And I'm not sure where his game's at because I haven't seen him since. So I'm not going to throw any of my eggs into Musetti's basket for this tournament, but hopefully when the clay court swings up and running, I think we may see him back. I think this is just a couple of building tournaments for him just to see where he's at. And I would expect I'm going to be going from each side. I'm going to be going Andre Rublev from the left, and I think Flavio Caboli to keep it going from the right.
Okay. Are we actually going to be doing our predictions today, or are we going to go round by round?
We can go round by round. I don't think it matters even if the first rounds start when we do our actual preview, because we'd like to do a reaction for the women's as well. But we can just look at some of the potential routes and paths. So I'll put them up now. This is Alcaraz's. He has a bye through the first round, potentially Dimitrov second, Rinderknecht third, or Van der Zandschulp. We've got Vachelar, Rude round 4, Bublik, Dimonor quarters, Djokovic, Draper, Medvedev, Fritz in the semis, and potentially Sinner or the rest in the final.
I love our men's six there now.
Couldn't put any more players on that list, could you, for the final? Ridiculous. And for Yannick Sinner, bye through the first round, Duckworth second round, Echeverry third round. Could be a Tsitsipas in there somewhere. Round 4 of Paul or Hachanov. Quarterfinal Menchik, Shelton, or TN for Kina maybe. Semi-finals Zverev, Musetti, or Felix. And final of Alcaraz or Djokovic, maybe Medvedev. I think he's had a pretty good tournament here in many, many seasons, so I'd put his name in the hat too.
Yeah, definitely. I can't really call it. Usually I come on here and say they've got a tougher draw. This is a tougher draw. I think it's quite even across the board. And there's no real winners. Maybe if I had to be pushed, I would say Sinner could be a marginal winner from the fact that he would avoid a Djokovic until, well, he avoids him completely unless he plays him in the final. So, yeah, I think that slight edges it, but only a few percentiles. And all in all, really even draw, super exciting. Some matches I've already highlighted on here I'll be looking forward to. And yeah, when we do our prediction video later on, we'll be going through round by round, giving our predictions on who we think is going to be winning with some wild card selections as well. This was just a good video to go through and give our reaction to the draw, because this is the first time I'm seeing it as I'm speaking right now.
Yeah. Speaking of wild cards as well, we've got some qualifiers going on this evening. Obviously, got the final round of qualifying. Your man, your wild card, he's there. He's trying to get into the main draw. Landaluce up against Shima Bakuru. So wish him luck, and may JG get into the main draw.
Luck, do you?
My guy doesn't even get to the qualifying because he's so low ranked, but Toby Samuel, congratulations. ITF win. He had to drop down from the challengers because he wasn't having much luck. He kept facing the same guy, the Spanish guy, and he kept beating him. So he just dropped down, won the ITF. He dropped down too easily. And now he's back to the challengers again. Won his first match at Challenger in Greece. Hopefully he can make a good run, win a challenger. That's what I'm hoping for Toby Samuel. But I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on him. And on the women's side, we'll speak about that when we get to the women's reaction. So
yeah, I really need Landaluce to keep winning because there's a lot of points at stake here in the Masters. So as long as he gets in there, that is some points for me.
He did well in his first match in the qualifying.
Yeah, he was underdog.
Block X, and he beat him 6-love, 6-2. So there you go. Big.
I didn't see it, so I'm not sure if Block X was injured, but that was a ridiculous result. Let's wrap it up there. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm sure you're all as excited as we are for the start of Indian Wells, the first event of the Sunshine Double, the 5th Grand Slam, as some call it. Alcaraz, it's on his racket. It could be, because he is the man to beat right now. Can anyone stop Carlos Alcaraz? Let's see. What has Sinner got up his sleeve? Because he's such a good hardcourt player, and it will be fascinating to see. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you very soon.